We get a lot of questions from students all around the world, from Vietnam to Nigeria. And one of the biggest questions is always the same. How can I fund my study abroad? So in this video, we're gonna talk about scholarships. We are gonna cover some of the most popular ones, but not only that, there are also plenty of country-funded opportunities that many students don't know about. And we're gonna talk about the Studyportals Scholarship, where you can win 10,000 euros to fund your study abroad. And we'll also show you a tool that helps you fund scholarship at university all around the world. Then as a bonus, we're gonna look at the motivational letter of a Studyportals scholarship winner. And we're gonna interview a member of the selection committee about what made the letter so strong and why it helped her win the scholarship. Now, if you're new, welcome to the Studyportals podcast. I'm Luisa, and this is the show where you get action-packed guidance on where to study, what to study, and how to actually afford it, plus real student stories from around the world. But quick context, what is Studyportals and why should you care? Studyportals, we built an ecosystem that helps students make the best studies choice for free. We have bachelorsportal.com, mastersportal.com, and phdportal.com. On this platform, you can filter programs by subject, country, and tuition fee. You can also search for scholarships, check the rankings, and you can use our AI advisor, Sophia, to ask questions about studying abroad. It's also a very good idea to create an account, because then you get personalized information. For example, about applications, a scholarship you might be eligible for. Scholarships are not just about saving money. They can help you cover tuition, pay your rent and living costs, and make your CV stand out internationally. And here's the best part. Many scholarships don't just look at grades. They also care about your story. Let's start with some of the biggest and most famous scholarships in the world. First, there is the Fulbright program in the US, which is one of the most prestigious and covers almost everything. Then there is the Chevening Scholarship in the UK, which focuses on future leaders. If you want to study across Europe, Erasmus Plus gives you the chance to study multiple countries. Germany offers DAD scholarships, which are especially strong for masters and PhD students. Then we have the Commonwealth Scholarship, which supports students from Commonwealth countries. And if you're aiming really high, the Rhodes Scholarship at Oxford, which is also one of the most competitive in the world. And finally, France also offers the Eiffel Excellence Scholarship, which supports international students. Now let's talk about a different opportunity that is much more accessible, the Studyportals Scholarship. The Studyportals Scholarships is a 10,000 euros grant for students who want to study abroad. It's open to students all over the world. And what makes it different is that it doesn't just focus on grades, but about your story, your motivation, your goals, and how you want to make an impact. Here's exactly how to apply. And you can find also the link in the description box with all the information. First, write a review about your current or previous university. Second, sign up to stay updated about the scholarship. After that, confirm the program or the university you apply to. And finally, submit your application with your university acceptance letter and your strong motivational letter. That's it. The process is simple. Now let's hear from one of the students that won the scholarship in the past.
Honestly, I was really surprised because I wasn't expecting that at all. It was a moment for me where my prayers got answered. I always used to believe that my hard work and faith is going to work for me. Hello, my name is Anona Kabir Jihan and I'm from Bangladesh and I'm the Studyportals Scholarship winner of 2024. I come from a close-knit family in Bangladesh where I grew up with my parents and 4 siblings. I'm the first girl in my family to study abroad. My life in Bangladesh has been full of challenges and also some beautiful memories. The UK has always been a dream destination for me because I know how they preserve their rich culture and they are really accepting to the international students, and the academic environment in the UK, I think it really stands out for me. People always used to say me that I'm a little bit diplomatic while giving answers, while taking my decisions, and they used to encourage me to study something related to diplomacy. And I was always interested in the global affairs and the political relations between the nations, so I wanted to really explore these complexities of the world. So that's why I have chosen a master's degree in international relations. A typical day of my life starts early in the morning when I get up and take my breakfast and then get ready for my university. And after coming to the university, I have to attend my lectures, which is full of debates and discussions. because after every lecture we are given a topic and we are divided into some groups and we act as some organizations, and each of the group has to debate and one of them wins the argument. That's the most exciting part of my lectures, and after that I hang out with my classmates and my friends. We have some lunch together and then I head back to home. I think I have already started to make an impact, because after I have came here to pursue my higher education, many of my juniors and girls around my community has been asking me about the ways they could also follow up to their dreams. And in my community, most of the girls don't step outside the house for higher education, and they think it's not safe for a single female to go abroad and pursue a higher education. But now they are really interested and inspired by me. The way I have got a scholarship, I want to start my own scholarship program with collaborating with the NGOs in my country, and I want to give small scholarships and grants to the students who really need some money or some help from me to pursue a higher education in their life. Never give up on your dreams, because the journey can be tough, but there are a lot of opportunities out there. So you just need to do your own research and stay persistent and always believe in yourself.
So, how do you actually increase your chances of winning a scholarship? Usually, it comes down to 4 things: a strong motivational letter, clear goals, a personal story, and a real impact, not just grades. A lot of students assume the scholarships are only about academic performance. But in reality, what usually makes a difference is how well you communicate your story, your ambition, and the impact you want to have. And to explore more about that, I spoke with Tonia, who was part of the committee that selected last year's winner for the Studyportals Scholarship.
Hi guys, nice to meet you. My name is Tonia. I'm a social media specialist at Studyportals, and today I'm here as a Studyportals Scholarship committee member. I'm in charge of choosing our winner. Each year we choose 2 winners from all around the world and we award them with 10,000 euro scholarship to make their study abroad dream come true. So today with Luisa together we're gonna look into the motivational letter of one of the winners. I think this letter, Luisa, impressed me, I think, the most over the years, and I want to show you what really stand out. It's Anana. She's from Bangladesh. Actually, the whole story about her was quite challenging, like how we were selecting her, because she was in Bangladesh, of course, and it was, I think, protests during this time. So the government blocked out internet and we couldn't reach out to schedule interviews with her. But instead of all technical difficulties, she really made sure that she shows up even without video, but she did find an opportunity to talk to us. And of course, this attitude impressed us. But also I want to check her motivational letter. Maybe it will give you and our listeners some tips on what should you actually include in your motivational letter for it to win the scholarship.
What do you think is the one thing that made her stand out?
I don't think there is necessarily one thing. There are multiple. So you can imagine that we read like thousands of motivational letters, right? But I'll tell you in the end what was this one thing for me. But there are tips which are important for each motivational letter, right? So let's look at this first part. I'm sure that we will put the text on the screen. And here, guys, you can see that this beginning part, yes, it's like usually they say there is a hook, you know, which you can use to attract attention. For me, what's important in here is that I don't need necessarily very special hook, but what hooked me is that she mentions our portals. And I can see a lot what happens is that students just copy paste their motivational letters and they use the same motivational letter literally to apply to any scholarship they're applying for. And I can definitely see right away that this letter was used so many times that the person does not even customize it anymore. So she used portals, and that really stand out to me. So that's important. I think this is the first tip. Make sure that, okay, if you apply for many scholarships, that might be hard to customize your motivational letter for every scholarship, but at least beginning, make sure that it's really customized.
I think it's easier easier to just do the first paragraph a bit more customized without having to customize the whole motivational letter.
Exactly. Well, we read your motivational letters, guys. It's not like they just, created by AI or something. No, we actually read them. So make sure you apply to us, that you know where you are applying for. So this is the second part. Here she talks about Bangladesh, and I love that a lot, that she actually talks about her home country. You can see here that she wants to come back to Bangladesh, and I know that many international students never come back to their home country. I'm not delusional, but at least she has an intention, and at least she has a will to contribute to her home country. And even if she stays in the UK in the end, she will forever represent Bangladesh because she is from Bangladesh. So for me, I think it's important to see reference to her home country in the motivational letter. Yeah, so that's the second thing. So looking at this big part, here she's talking about her future plans, career aspirations, and what is clear and necessary is the goal. Make sure you put the goal into your motivational letter. She's literally writing, my goal is to understand the global political system. So yeah, this is a good wording. It catches my eye. Anana, she has a goal, concrete goal. So yeah, I want to give money to somebody who has a goal. So I think that's very important. This part, here she talks a lot about her being female. As I know already from interviews with her, she was the first female in her family to pursue the higher education abroad. And actually she was destined to the arranged marriage, but she made sure that she persuaded her family to trust her and to go to study abroad. So yeah, in this part, she's talking about that. She's talking about being a role model for her sisters and her female friends. And that's also important for me to see this angle of our winner to be a little bit bigger than just the person who's pursuing education or career. I want our winner to be a role model, to be influencer in a way. Not you don't need to have many followers on Instagram, but you need to be influencer in your community or at least your family.
Yeah, I think just putting something about the personal story.
Exactly.
Like why it's important to you, what's your journey so far, and why this is the goal that you want to achieve is this.
Totally. Yeah, here Anana is using female. You don't need to be female. It's not about gender. For example, our second winner, V from Vietnam, he talked about his mother being an educator and how he wanted to make her proud because she was a teacher her whole life and he wants to pursue higher education abroad and to make her proud. That also stands out. It's very simple. And actually, you are talking, Louisa, about adding the personal touch. That's very important. So look at this next part. Anana is mentioning academic achievements, but she also talks about, her as a person. She's telling us about her hobbies, that she loves music, she loves dancing. And I want to see our winner as a person, not just as a student, which is of course a big part of the personality, but still, tell us more about your hobbies, about what you like. That's very important. And I think she finishes strong in this part. She literally explains how scholarship will help her. This is what I want to know. I'm giving the scholarship. I want to know how this money will help you. It's as simple as that. So make sure that you end strong with telling how this money will help you achieve your dream. So it sounds maybe simple, but it's not simple. So I hope these tips help you to make the best motivational letter, which will win you thousands of euros and dollars.
And we also made a video with a Cambridge student which explained how she wrote a motivational letter. So you can check that one out as well. I'm gonna link it somewhere up here. So you can check out their tips as well.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck.
And if you have any questions, make sure ask them in comments and I will personally come and answer them.
Thank you, Tonya, for being with us today.
No worries.
Now let's dive a little bit more in where to find the scholarships. If you're serious about studying abroad, don't just Google randomly. Use platforms that are optimized for your goal. Let me show you exactly how to do that. Studyportals is one of the easiest way to also find scholarships thanks to our filtering system. You can filter by country and by field of study. Now let's talk about something that a lot of students actually miss: country-funded programs. Scholarships are not the only way to fund your studies. A lot of countries actually offer grants and loans to help you sustain yourself as an international student as well. Let me give you some examples. In the UK, you have student finance, which helps cover tuitions and living costs. In the Netherlands, we have Duo, which provides grants and loans. In Denmark, we have SU, which is a monthly student grant for eligible students. Sweden offers the Swedish Institute Scholarship, which is actually fully funded. Canada has programs like the Vanier scholarships and provincial funding. Australia offers the Australia Awards scholarships. For some of these programs, you might need to meet specific eligibility terms, but there's definitely a lot of options there, so always make sure to check them out. So there might be a lot of more options that you are not thinking about. And another thing that a lot of students don't consider and that they completely overlook is that sometimes your own country has government-funded scholarships for citizens that want to study abroad. So before you assume that you can't afford it, always check your Ministry of Education from wherever country you are from. Some example that we found is that France has mobility grants, Spain combines Erasmus Plus with national funding. Countries like India and Nigeria also offer government scholarships for overseas studies. So if you want to study abroad without going into massive debt, start early, apply to multiple scholarships, and don't forget to check global scholarships, the Studyportals Scholarship, your own government programs, because your dream of studying abroad might be much more achievable than you think. If this episode helped you, subscribe for more study abroad tips, leave a like and a comment on what you would like to see next. Remember to check out the Studyportal scholarships, link in the description, and good luck with your applications. I will see you in the next episode. Bye!